recently purchased a new Kenmore refrigerator. I have a video on that if you want to take a look at it. And along with it, I should, by the time this is uploaded, have a video on this. Purchased this to go along with the refrigerator because the refrigerator had an ice maker. It's my first ever ice maker. So I wanted a filter for the water going into the ice maker. Purchased this, and again, there should be a video uploaded on this. This is the RC EZ-1, but this made me start thinking. Well, I have a filter from my ice maker. I don't drink tap water. I drink bottled water mostly. Mostly Smart Sense branded from Kmart. Lots of Evian, and also a lot of Publix water, which is the same company that bottles this. But, you know, that pollutes the environment, even though I do recycle these. Still, you know, these plants are taking water out of areas that need them. So I decided this might be the time to put something on my kitchen faucet. So I purchased this today. At Home Depot, this was $26.97. Was torn between this and the Pure. I actually liked the look of the Pure a little better, but it protrudes down lower. And as you'll see when I go to mount this, I have limited space. My sink isn't very deep. And this, it even mentions here, it's 40% more space efficient than the Pure. So let's just look over. This is the chrome model. It comes also in white. It has a little indicator light. And of course it mentions again that space-saving design. That's the Spanish. Let's go to the English here. Filters, replace it every 100 gallons, so it's a pretty good bit of drinking water. Here is the back. Really easy to insert filters, which go on just like this Culligan. Just two little tabs. I don't know if you'll twist this like the Culligan, but, and here, the important stuff, what it filters out. Now the Pure actually said it filtered 2 more. It gave a number of how many it filtered, and I counted them and there were 2 more than this. But again, space concerns were my problem. So let's get this opened up and see what comes with it. And just to prove saving on the environment a little bit, it says here at the top, this one filter can replace 750 water bottles. 750 of these, that's quite a bit. So let's get this opened up. There's the way it looks in the box. Looks like the instructions are tucked in here. I'll read those before I mount everything, but a very small section in English, so not a lot that you are required to read. Okay, this out of the way. It looks like we just have our 2 components here, nothing else. Our filter cartridge and the faucet section. Let's get this out and give it a look. Of course it's plastic, you know, no real metal on any of this stuff. I mean, you get what you get for $26. But the finish looks good. A little strainer there. Places. I'm going to be curious because I think my sink has an internal threaded faucet, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, looks like a button there, and of course just the filter. No real reason to take it out until we need to. Let me read these instructions and find out how this mounts. We'll see about getting it mounted. First and hopefully last roadblock, according to the instructions. If you have outside threads, you likely will not need an adapter. If you have inside threads, apparently that is the adapter and gasket that you need. Well, lo and behold, pulled this off of my sink. Look at the muck in there. But threads on the inside, that goes up inside my faucet. Yeah, just look at that muck. Eek. Okay, so I'm going to be heading to the hardware store to pick up an adapter. I'll be right back. Forget everything I just said. You know, went to Home Depot, picked this up. I skipped, my eyes went straight to the adapter section here. I didn't look at step 1, which mentions very clearly packet with 2 faucet adapters and washers. Well, I looked in the box and I just saw this. A packet of adapters. So I'm going to get to take this back to Home Depot, which means I can take off that $4.41 plus tax, and that gets it back down to $26.97 plus tax. Okay, so now I'm going to take out the correct adapter here. and install it with this. Now that I have the proper adapters, I have the instructions out. It's 5 easy steps. I've actually done step 1 and 2. Step 1 is to take off the strainer off of your faucet. Now I had to reach up in mine to pull out the O-ring, so you may have to do the same. Step 2 is to find the correct adapter out of the adapter pack. I have chosen the correct one here. I threaded it up into the faucet. It has 2 slots. Let me see if one of these others has a slot. Yeah, here we go. I don't know how well you can see that. See if I can get some light on it here. There are 2 slots there. You can fit a quarter in those slots. So I took a quarter once I had this up in there and tightened it up completely and got it tight. The third step is to take the Brita filter, the filter base. It says that you want the left side, so there's a Brita logo here. Probably can't see that, but there is a Brita logo. You want that on the left side of your faucet. So we're going to put this on here and see if I can get this to start. Should be righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? See if left is... Nope, it's definitely righty-tighty. If I can get it to start. Well, I thought I had it. Is it left? Okay. Apparently counterclockwise on this. So I'm going to go counterclockwise, and it says do it until it's snug. And do not use pliers, it said. Okay, so I think that is snug. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this more to the left there and snug it up just a little bit more. So that should be, that's as tight as I'm going to get it by hand. Okay, and now according to the instructions, I move on to step 4, which is inserting the filter cartridge. It just pops straight down, and I just need to support the unit underneath. So I'm going to get my filter cartridge out of its baggie here. Looks like those are the 2 tabs this way. See if I can, okay, I just clicked that into place. That was pretty simple. So you see it's not too big. It's not too big at all. You can actually swivel this just a little bit. I don't know if that's because I don't have, oh, that's loosened. I need to go back the other way. Just want to make sure I have that good and tight so those seals tighten up. Step 5 is to flush the unit with water. You only want to use cold. You never want to use hot. Move this over here so you can see this a little better. You only want to use cold, never hot, it says. It's got a temperature range, but I'll let you determine cold and hot. So according to this, we turn on the faucet for 5 minutes to remove any carbon or dust, but we want it on the Brita setting. And see if I can zoom in on this. I don't know how well you can see this, but there is a little white dot there. And you move that dot down to just, that's running through the faucet, and that's going up to the Brita filter. It actually has, there we go, you can see it there, the Brita logo. So we've got it, according to this, we want it up on the Brita setting, and we want to turn it on, and we want to let it run for 5 minutes. So we'll do that. Let me back this back up here. Turn it on just to see if we can see any muck come out. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm going to flush that out good. So we'll let this run for 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and we'll see if it's running clear. Okay, 5 minutes it's been running, and as you can see I have perfectly clear water, which is almost splashing up onto the camera. So let me move this to here. Now, let me do a couple things. Number one, I'm going to fill up a glass with water out of the filtered water. I'm going to set that off to the side. Now I'm going to switch it over, and it says you can just switch it, so I assume you can do this while it's running. Yep. Switch it over to the regular tap water. Now, I see my stream here. It doesn't look quite as strong as it normally is, so this definitely restricts it just a little bit, but not bad. It's not going to cause any problems. I'm going to fill this up with tap water. Now, our city's tap water has a very, very strong chlorine odor. And, matter of fact, it's a weird smell. The best I can describe it is it's easily identifiable, at least to me, is if it's poured down rain on a summer afternoon and you walk out onto like a concrete patio, some concrete area. There's just this weird, almost fishy smell. That's the smell of our city's tap water. And just to show, on the left here is the city's tap water. On the right is the filtered water from the Brita. Both look about the same. I see a few air bubbles still floating around in there. I'm going to give it a smell test first. I'm going to smell the Brita water first. I know our tap water smell very well, so I have nothing. Yeah, there is no discernible smell, so it definitely removed the odor. Now for the check, let me get our tap water here. Yeah, I can definitely smell that. Smell that every day. I know that smell. I'm going to go back to the Brita water. It smells great. Now the big test. Let's see how it tastes. That's good. I don't smell any chlorine taste at all. No need for me to taste the tap water. I know exactly what that tastes like. That's why I've used bottled water for years. So, in a nutshell, the thing appears to work. I mean, this has been one glass I've filtered and 5 minutes with this thing running. It appears to work. The only downside that I've noticed thus far is when it is on the tap water, which is the lower setting. And there again, remember there's that dot. You match up with the two settings. It's not quite as strong. That's not bad. It's not quite as strong. And according to the instructions, you just want to make sure you never, when it's on the filtered setting, when it's on this setting, you never want to go over. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. You never want to go over to the hot setting because most hot water heaters are set to 120 degrees. This, you can run the cartridge if you go over 100 degrees. So, it would just be the cartridge though you would need to replace, not the entire unit. But our regular stream there, I've got it turned down, okay. A little bit weaker, not much, but just a little bit weaker coming out of the thing. So if you don't have a dishwasher and you depend on a very strong stream coming out of your faucet, that may be an issue. Okay, the only other thing that I've noticed, let me get the box here. Let's turn this off so it's not making so much noise. Okay, here we have our box. Now, look right there. You see that glowing green area there? Glowing, looks like, and that's where it is. It's supposed to have this green glow to it. According to our system here, we have a filter indicator. Get the instructions. Show you what the instructions say. The instructions say that you have a replacement filter indicator and it will show solid green when working. It will show green and red when it's within 20 gallons, when it only has 20 gallons of filtration left, and then solid red telling you, hey man, this thing's toast, you need to go ahead and change it out. Okay, but what it doesn't actually say, it's not an LED. It's just a filter replacement indicator. Okay, so that's not actually going to glow. So what that means is, standing in front of this thing, as you can see, you can't really tell anything. You get over it, you can barely see that is green. You see that? Shows a green indicator down in there. So it's not really a glow, it's just something that's going to go from green to red and green to solid red. But it doesn't show up if you're looking at it from the angle that you would be standing in front of it to look at it. So, just something to note there. I don't know if that pure water filter actually has an LED on it, but this most certainly does not. That could be something that might steer someone away. Not a huge deal for me. I tend to check things regularly, so I'll just periodically look at that. But this is the Brita water filter. I can't find an item number on this thing. Let me show you the bottom of the box here. I don't know if you can use that at all, but this was purchased from Home Depot. Of course, I've seen them in multiple places. It's $26.97. Thanks for watching. Everyone have a great day.